Wednesday, May 11th. Guys, if you're watching this video, I'm going to recommend that you also go watch the other videos on today's Beyond the Whiteboard page that have to do with this gymnastics strength cycle. You know, your coaches know this stuff, right? But it always helps when you already come into class with a foundational understanding of what we're doing that day. Just kind of makes things go a little bit more smoothly. And I know not everybody watches this, so I'm only speaking to a select few, but they're all quick videos, and it's just like 3 videos per group, about a minute each. Give it a shot. Anyway, let's talk about the WOD. You can talk about the strength stuff over on those videos. We're doing a 20-minute EMOM today, but it's taking a slightly different form than what we're used to in a few ways. Number one, first time in the last 3 months that we've done one of these EMOMs that we've built in specific rest. There's a whole minute of it, but that comes at a cost. So we're also, for the first time ever on one of these EMOMs, basically taunting you to not give yourself rest. It's not exactly that. We want you to go hard as possible, but we know self-preservation is a thing. And what I mean is the first minute of this EMOM has a max effort movement in it. It has pull-ups, 8 pull-ups, and then in the remaining time, max effort burpees, where the burpees are your score. These last few weeks, we've been doing EMOMs where we're not actually taking a score. We're only writing down the number or the load of your barbell. Well, there's no barbell movement today. So today's score is 2 parts. It is how many burpees did you do in that first minute? And then the third minute is max effort again, assault bike calories. So it's the other score, is 2 different scores, 1 for burpees, 1 for calories on the assault bike. All right, let's go through it more. First minute, 8 pull-ups, and remaining time burpees. So that's really one of those things where, do you want rest? Do you want rest before minute 2? If so, it takes away from your score. And then those who are trying to maximize their score, that means they got to do minute 2, which is 20 alternating dumbbell snatches. They got to do that a little bit more tired than they're used to doing that movement. Now, dumbbell snatches, basically a bread and butter movement for us at this point. To the extent that we just know how it's going to feel. Like, we have a specific benchmark that we made up, not that we made up, but that we program here, which is 100 of them for time. So you certainly should know by now what 20 feels like, and probably get a really good idea real quickly whether or not it's fair to ask you to do 20 in a minute. So, like previous EMOMs, the instruction for those is really stop at 45 seconds in that first round. Right? Don't try to be a hero on those. 20 probably is asking too much of several people. So it's 20 for some people, but for you, it might need to be 15 or 12 or something like that. Just stop at 45 seconds wherever you are in the first round. Let's try to be consistent with that going forward for the next 4 rounds. Third movement is just assault bike calories, max effort. And you get a full minute of rest on the other side of that, meaning you gotta go, right? You gotta go all out. The way this WOD is gonna work today is really gonna depend on how many people are in your class. Like, we had 20 people Monday night. 20 people would not work on this. Well, no, it would. We could make 20 people work. We can't have many more than 24. 4 stations, even though one of them's rest. So basically what I'm saying is, depending on the size of your class, you might not be doing assault bike right before the rest, all right? So the bottom line is, we're gonna make it so that, and we'll have to talk to the coaches about this, we're gonna make it so that you are doing something before that minute of rest that is max effort. See if we can work it out that way. It'll be up to me to figure out at the popular 5:30 class. But you are doing a max effort movement before that minute of rest, and that way you can really go up against that minute, right? For either the burpees or the assault bike. All right, what can I tell you? In order to get 20 dumbbell snatches in, they gotta be unbroken. They just have to be. I imagine there's not gonna be many people who can do that with a rest in the middle, so I wouldn't recommend even trying. As for the pull-ups, at the time of me filming this, the way it's written on Beyond the Whiteboard is 8 strict pull-ups plus max burpees in the remaining time. And of course, strict pull-ups are not going to be something that everybody can do. So I could just put pull-ups on there. Maybe I'll change it. the bottom line is, if you don't have strict pull-ups, then you're not doing strict pull-ups, right? But it doesn't mean you're doing nothing. You're doing kipping pull-ups if that seems like a fair ask of you for 8. Ring rows will be next, or banded pull-ups. We're happy with any of those, so long as you think you can get 8 into a minute. If you have strict pull-ups, in fact, if you have 8 strict pull-ups, and you're like, oh, I do, but I'm not gonna get to the burpees if I do that, guess what? I want you to do it. I want you to do the strict pull-ups, even if that means 0 burpees for you, right? Because it's pull-up day, right? Isn't that what we're doing for strength? So I'd rather see that applied in the WOD and then see you go all out for the rest of the movements with the dumbbell snatch and the assault bike. And don't worry about your score, right? Because it will be such a great accomplishment to get those 8 strict pull-ups in. I don't want to reduce the reps on the pull-up though. That's the one time this is the one sort of exception to how these EMOMs have been working. I'm not going to accept, well, I can do a couple of strict pull-ups, so why don't I just do 4? You're gonna do 8 total pull-ups, even if that means 4 strict, 4 kipping, or 4 kipping, 4 ring rows. Do 8 of them total. And I think what you'll find is, no matter what you do, unless you're that person that's trying to get all the strict in and really challenging themselves to do that, that you can get your 8 done in like 20 seconds and have a bunch of time remaining on those burpees. I think you will find that. Guess we'll see. All right, guys, this was way too long of a video. Have a good day.